Hey guys, it's Siobhan with 2Kitty and Beyond. Welcome back to my channel. We are doing monthly horoscope readings today, and this is for Leo. Now, that can apply to Leo, sun, moon, or rising, and I also recommend that you check out your other sign videos. So if this is your sun sign, go check out your moon and rising sign as well. Sometimes you resonate more with one over the other. Sometimes it's just a better idea to have the overall energy of 3 to understand what April is going to hold for you. So this is for April 2020, and I'm doing a condensed 4-card spread for the month, which will also be available for a private reading via email. All of the information will be in the description box below, but we're also going to pull clarifiers and oracle cards for this reading. So let's just jump into it, Leo. Let's see what's going on for you in the month of April. Just using the traditional Rider-Waite and whatever oracle cards I feel called to pull afterwards. Okay, so what is the overall energy of the month for Leo in April? Nope. Overall energy. You have the 6 of Cups and the Queen of Wands. We'll take that extra card. Actually, we'll do it as the clarifier. There. And the challenge to overcome. Oops. Wow, yeah. Another Cups card, 4 of Cups. What is the insight and guidance for Leo during April? Sorry, it's this one here. Temperance. What is the potential outcome? The Moon card. Okay. So yeah, this is very much you, that Queen of Wands energy, whether you're male or female, the Leo energy here. So when it comes to something emotional, look at all this water. The moon is a watery type of energy. Temperance, even though it's not actually water, has a lot of water in it. And then the other 2 cards you have are cups. So despite the fact that we're in Aries season and there's a lot of fire, you guys are experiencing this quite emotionally, which is interesting. So let's get some clarifiers on the 4 of Cups. We'll get one clarifier for the 4 of Cups. Thank you. Another fire energy. Knight of Wands. Great. Okay. And clarifier for Temperance. Ooh, interesting. Excuse me. And the moon. Why is the moon here? What is this? Okay, 3 of Wands. All right. So this is looking like reining it in. It's really what I see right off the bat. It's reining in the emotional nature of feeling conflicted. I'm feeling a lot of conflicting energy here. There's fire and water, and these two don't necessarily go well together. They can, but sometimes, water will put out fire, or fire will cause water to boil. So whenever there's a lot of pent up energy, this can come out as emotions. And this almost has like a very Mercury retrograde feel to the reading, even though we're not currently in Mercury retrograde. We just came out of it last month. So, but this is past energy. This is past memories from childhood. This is soulmate or type of past life soul connections, that kind of thing. But I feel this really more so around stuff coming up from your past. So when it comes to your maturity and where you've gotten to as an individual with your power, your personal power, your drive, your business, perhaps entrepreneurship, there's something from the past that's still kind of there, and it's coming through in the form of the 4 of Cups, which is a little bit of an immature energy. Same with the Knight of Wands. So it's not that they're immature in the sense of, being... Well, I mean, yeah, they are. They're kind of hard-headed. I was going to try and sugarcoat it a little bit, but they're like, no, just tell it like it is. Leos can handle it. So the 4 of Cups is very much sort of this, well, I'm not satisfied with what I have. It's this energy of not really seeing what's in front of you. It's taking it a little bit for granted and not accepting the cup that's being offered. See, he's offering this little girl the cup, but for some reason, this like teenage version isn't willing to take it. And that's very much what the Knight of Wands is all about too. It's kind of a teenage type of energy. It's stubborn, it's willful, it thinks it knows best, it's a little bit overconfident. It's not in the student mindset. Student mindset is being very open and, despite the fact that teenagers are like students, that's the main part of their life, but it's being willing to learn and being open to all different possibilities, but not getting stuck in one way over the other. And some of these types of ways can be self-limiting, right? Some of these beliefs or the way you act or what you're willing to or not willing to accept can be a little bit detrimental or self-limiting, which you see with the Devil card here. So that's why Temperance is there as insight and guidance. Temperance is bringing in this ability to balance some of the fire and the passion with some of the emotional understanding and maturity that comes from connecting to the subconscious mind and understanding some of the childhood or adolescent programs of reaction. So, oftentimes when we're triggered, it's because there is a subconscious belief that has been inflamed with whatever stimulus was creating the trigger. So, for example, let me see if I can think of an example on the spot. So, for example, somebody comes up to you and they say, you're not doing a very good job at growing that sunflower. If you were completely 100% secure in your ability to grow that sunflower, you'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't care what you have to say to me. I'm really proud of this sunflower and it looks fantastic. So shoo, go away. Or like, thank you for your perspective. I'll take it as constructive criticism. I'm not going to let it faze me though, and the other side of that is somebody comes up to you and says, your sunflower doesn't look very good. And you immediately react. Well, I've worked so hard on this sunflower. It looks really good to me. Blah, 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 really defensive and angry and aggressive. That's coming from a childhood wound of being criticized or an adolescent wound of being criticized and not being willing to accept what others are giving you as something to build you up, perhaps constructive criticism. Maybe they were just commenting. Maybe they didn't even mean that the way that you took it. But there's this tendency towards sort of knee-jerk reactions. And that is always the ego. And this happens for everybody. It's not just a Leo thing. Everybody has this. But you guys are fire signs. And, this isn't going to apply to everybody, but you may have a temper that's just a fire sign quality. Some don't, some do, some don't. It's very individual. But if you resonate with that, then this is something to look at when it comes to your subconscious, which is the Moon card, and how it is kind of manipulating you into reacting, which is that devil energy. So the insight and guidance here is to self-discipline through awareness, through compassion, self-compassion, trial and error, seeing what works and what doesn't when it comes to your emotional states and controlling those emotional states. It boils down to self-control. And self-control comes from self-awareness, mindfulness, and being open and accepting of what comes up from within you instead of rejecting it or, further suppressing some of these things that are creating the triggers. Because the more you don't look at them, the more that they come up. The more reactive you become because you're not accepting who you are or what you've been through, which is from the past. So it's really healing to accept some of these things, not in the sense that they need to stay the same, but accept them so that you can change them. Look at these patterns of reaction and see where they're coming from. What's the underlying emotion? Because anger is always a secondary emotion. Underneath the anger is rejection, isolation, despair, sadness, your needs not being met, whatever it may be. There's a various myriad of different primary emotions that can trigger anger. And if this isn't anger, and this is you just learning to work with the passion and the drive and the energy that you have during Aries season, and tempering it with the emotional maturity to move forward, right? So when you create balance, you can curb your power, basically. You can control it instead of letting it control you. And that's what I see here with the potential outcome. So the moon card is the subconscious mind. These are hidden things, we react this way, we don't know why. We don't often even tend to ask why. But when we do, and when we go deeper, and when we allow these things to come out from the subconscious mind, that's when we can bring them to our awareness and we can actually do something about it. And that's what this Three of Wands is here for. You've got a lot of wands in the bottom row. So the underlying energy is fire. And even the devil, you can relate him to fire. We all think of like fiery hell. And then on top, you've got all this water. So it's the underlying drive that is stimulating these emotions. And the emotions are really the things to focus on here, because the emotions are directing you to information that you need to be able to move forward productively, which is what this Three of Wands is advising, or it's basically saying as a potential outcome, when you set your intention for certain things, when you want to be productive and you compartmentalize while simultaneously creating unity, right? So it's these two opposites, separateness and unity. How do we bring them together to create a more holistic understanding of ourselves so that we can put that into practice? That's the key here. Okay, so because there's past energy coming up, I'm feeling called to pull from the past life oracle. So let's grab this one. Wants to come out. Farm. Okay. Unrequited love. All right. Biblical. That's interesting because we do have biblical references here with the Devil card, of course, and Temperance. But the Farm card, I really see this as productivity. So it's really getting to the nitty-gritty and doing what you need to do to produce results. This could have happened in a past life on a farm, perhaps in biblical times. Maybe you were a shepherd of some kind, and there was unrequited love. So this is kind of the root of this ego program, this toxicity, right? This is creating all of the triggers. Well, not necessarily all of them, but if this resonates with you, then this may be a core wound. So unrequited love is rejection. It's not feeling like our needs are being met. It's not feeling like we're loved. And the result of that is that we feel unlovable, we feel unequal, and we feel rejected. And those things stay within the subconscious mind. Those wounds permeate until your reactions and your behavior are a reflection of that belief. So it's, again, about bringing that belief to the forefront so that you can understand it and no longer be controlled by it. So let's get a Wisdom of the Oracle card to wrap things up. Time for a nap. Oh, I love it. Okay, so 24. Let's see. Okay. Time for a nap. Rest, rejuvenation, and renewal, temporary non-action, and allowing dreams to arise. That's very much about the subconscious mind. Look at that, the moon imagery in both of them. So pay attention to the cycles of the moon as well. But dream time is going to be an important indication of what's going on in your subconscious mind. And you can use your dream time intentionally, which is what this Three of Wands speaks of. It's sending out messages and then receiving messages back. So when you open up to the emotional content that your dreams are bringing you and you interpret them in a practical way in relation to some of this fiery energy, then you can use that information in a productive manner. So this is a time to step away and rest. Let the cares of your world go. Go into a state of non-action and allow yourself to be free of the shackles of your goals, your lists, and your desires. Nothing is as important as rest, detachment, and neutrality. Very much Temperance energy is neutral. The overly busy mind can block you from inner wisdom if you don't step back, take a seat, and rest. Be willing to let dreams surface and ideas flow through you, absent any force or conscious direction, as you observe without engagement now. So yeah, this is twofold. When you allow this, subconscious information to come through, in a productive way, this can be, well, inspiration in spirit. It's allowing spirit to come into you. You're breathing it in and then being able to interpret whatever the messages are. And you can use that to be productive. You can use that to create. If you have a natural aptitude for art, that's a really wonderful way to express it. This wand could be a paintbrush, and you could be expressing your emotional subconscious mind through art, which is highly creative and expressive. So that's an option for you, but it's very much about taking some time to just rest right now. I feel like it's been very go, 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 very work oriented, like that farm life. And even the worker here, he's working. It's work, 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 work. And now that you've kind of had to slow down, you're being forced to look at some of the emotional patterns that have led to that work ethic, because work ethic can be very good, but it can also be a distraction from what's going on under the surface. It can be a way of avoiding some of these subconscious imbalances that are in need of healing, some of these programs from childhood or adolescence where we feel like we weren't enough. And so we constantly have to achieve to feel like we're worthy. So that's something to look at this month. A little bit of, fodder for your farm animals to munch on, chew on that cud for a while, see how it tastes. Okay. I hope you guys are doing well in the month of April and that you are safe and healthy as we transition through these global changes. If you would like to book a reading with me, particularly this 4-card spread, it would just be the first 4 in an email reading for $19 Canadian. You can reach out to me at services.tokittyandbeyond@gmail.com and check out the description box below this video for more information and more services and offerings. I love you guys, and we will see you next month. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.